Ridiculous night as my round table joins me, having survived the nuclear apocalypse, trying to find guzzling and water. I'll be your furious leader, Mad Max, but I hate my first name, so I'll just go by Ben, the ridiculous Riddick. Joining me at my round table is a man on a guitar that spews flames, my co-host, Sam Chen. Yeah, rock that shredder, man.
Yeah, as long as in the nuclear apocalypse I don't have to pee into a filter and drink it, I think I'm okay.
There you go. And helping lead us through this crazy wasteland that was formerly Australia, the Thunder from Down Under himself, Brent Turner.
Hey guys, how's it going? I feel a bit offended that you're appropriating my culture like this.
You know.
Weaving it into your podcast.
Why can't you let him just pretend to be British?
This is true. You're from New Zealand, though, aren't you?
No.
The accents sound almost exactly alike, don't they?
So offensive. As a white Australian male, I have never really had any prejudice at all. Like, no, I mean, no, not prejudice, any kind of racism held against me at all. But that I can see the horizon of racism through that comment.
Yeah, I'm trying.
All about the horizon of racism.
I'm an equal opportunity racist, Brent. Okay.
Well, you guys live in a place that's got a what's the fucking thing called? Outback Steakhouse.
Outback Steakhouse. You guys are the inventors of the bloomin' onion, aren't you?
No, we are not.
Gotta love that bloomin' onion and Foster's beer. Guys, we have a great show planned for you tonight.
We promise you it's better than what we just went through. We promise.
But before we get to our first topic, let's talk about our active quest lines. Brent, what have you been doing with your life? Tell us. We're dying.
Well, what's been happening is so I'm starting to work in the broadcast television industry, and I need a computer to edit with. Unfortunately, I've only got a laptop, which is what I'm using today. Not powerful enough to do really that much of what I need to do. So I'm trying to scrounge up some funds, get some bolts together, and make a nice desktop for my editing.
You're going to the sheep store and buying a bunch of RAMs, right?
Yeah, that's where I get all the RAMs.
I get it.
I'm glad you're getting all of your RAMs in. That's really the most important thing are the RAMs. My computer doesn't go enough, so I feel like that's probably its main problem, is the buying. So
I would like to really apologize to our listeners now.
Hey, you know what? They survived my dead language joke last week. I think they're going to survive my sheep joke this week.
And that's why we have half as many viewers as we did last week.
So what kind of stuff are you getting for your computer, Brent?
I'm still in kind of the early stages of it. I'm mostly just searching through, trying to find out what I'll need for, trying to future-proof myself, trying to find out to get the best bang for my buck. Seeing as a whole bunch of newer stuff's being released now, and a little bit in the future, some things that I wanted will be able to be dropped in price, and I can hopefully get some better and whatnot, all on a bit of a cheaper price. Otherwise, I would be just completely busted.
Do you ever use like the PC, like build a PC website where they help you find the cheapest place to find everything and all that sort of stuff?
There's actually a company here in Australia called PL-E. They have a couple of storefronts around Australia, but they have an online website, and you can essentially just do that whole thing where it just goes through all the different things. So you can like set a baseline of, well, this is kind of like, I kind of want it to be like this computer, and then you can just switch out things either up or down. Like if you want a better case, or if you want a worse, or you like, I don't need that good of a graphics card, or I don't need that great of an audio card, or I want a really great graphics card. And then they can just you can either go in and just buy all the stuff from them and put it together yourself, as I know a few of my friends have done. Or you can, for actually a relatively small fee, they'll put it all together for you.
Nice. I like when people do stuff for me.
Lazy.
Yeah, I know. Why do you think I was so happy when Mike joined the team? Now I don't do anything but come and host the show.
Look,
It's
when I
pretty
come to your house
fantastic.
tomorrow, I'm just gonna make you do everything.
um,
Man, I'm having troubles getting this fork to my mouth. Can you help me out here? You have the option of training your dogs to do it, though. It's all good.
This is true. I have my groceries delivered to me also. Maybe I can ask the Amazon people to feed you
Yeah,
when they come in. Just deliver the groceries directly to your mouth.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Sam, what have you been doing?
So, in anticipation of opening night of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, I have been looking for the perfect lightsaber. And so originally I was like, hey, look, I'm just going to go online. I'm going to buy one of the official lightsabers, Force FX, whatnot. That'll be good. And then I started talking to Chris, who obviously we play Destiny with a lot. And he's like, oh, yeah, like, do you check out like Ultra Sabers and Custom Sabers? And I'm like, I'm looking at these sites and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I can get like a nice machined aluminum hilt and still all the bang zoom things for an actual lightsaber, and it's cheaper than the plasticky one.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
sign me up.
So, how about the fact that lightsabers are banned from opening night?
Well, screw you, theaters. I actually didn't read that.
Yeah, that was something Mike just told me about. He was like, I hope Sam knows about this. Yeah, apparently they were banned opening night. So, I mean, lightsabers are still cool.
Lightsabers are still
So
cool.
having one would be neat. And I'm gonna have to get that info from Chris because I want a lightsaber, and Lee and I were talking about getting one, um, but we didn't want to.
So here's the interesting thing. If you aren't like dead set on I need it to make noises, like you can get a nice like battle ready in the context that like you can take it against like a shinai, like the bamboo things,
Uh-huh.
lightsaber for just around $100.
Which is
Cool.
what I have.
Yeah.
My brother got it
Because
for me for Christmas, and it was awesome.
that's awesome. Because there's a school in San Francisco, Sam, where you can take lightsaber battle lessons,
Nice.
and I really want to do it, but I want to get my own lightsaber.
Yeah,
And
So wait,
cool.
did they teach you? Did they teach you like the forms,
yeah,
like from the
from the movie, like the
Jesus.
straight up like spinning it and just so
So
cool.
it's like, oh well, they'll like assess you and figure out. Well, you're a smaller, kind of more acrobatic guy. We'll teach you this. What was it called? Fuck, I don't. Whatever the one that Yoda does, I can't remember what it's actually called.
I do not know if they specifically choose things like that, but they teach you special form and essentially it's a stage combat school, but all they do is lightsabers.
Just don't cut off your arms, Ben.
I know, I'll try.
Yeah.
You know what I like to do is I like to look down the barrel of my lightsaber before I activate it.
Make
Like
sure it's
one of,
clean.
you know, like one of the best Jedi ever, Luke Skywalker. Um,
I mean, to be fair, like it's kind of cool. They like you can get caps for it, so you can basically use it as a glorified flashlight. But the hilts just look super cool.
and what did you say it was called again?
There's a couple different sites for it, but the one I think I want to buy from is Ultra Sabers.
Ultra Sabers is the one that I was looking at.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean it seems like a good price considering like the Kylo Ren like what Force whatever version is like 150 to almost 200 here. So getting something that just doesn't make the noises but is better quality, like that pretty good deal.
Absolutely.
So
Then
I'll
then
need
you
to
get
figure out.
exactly what you want.
Yeah, I'll need to figure out exactly what I want because apparently certain grades work with certain colors and blah 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 blah. But yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. So enough about me, Ben. What have you been up to? And I know the answer to that question.
Well, Sam, as you know, Extra Life is just around the corner. And I've been sick and tired of waiting for the fact that I can't do anything else for Extra Life until you get to town tomorrow.
Haha.
So I've been planning a whole series of streams based around one single game, and that is Uncharted 3. Because Naughty Dog was so incredibly kind to us this year for Extra Life and donated a bunch of stuff for me to give away. And I wanted to make sure that I showed off what they're giving away as best as I could. Um, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to stream a crushing playthrough of Uncharted 3, which is the highest difficulty. Um, and I will be pushing for donations through Extra Life, which you guys can kind of learn more about in the chat. Nightbot just graciously put a link in there for me. And I'm going to be giving away 5 copies of Uncharted 3, obviously the PS3 version. So 5 copies of Uncharted 3. I'm going to be giving away 2 development diaries. There's actually some signatures in here by some of the developers too, which is awesome.
Ed just snuck his signature in there too. He's just like, yeah.
Yeah, I signed it also, so that
for the fans.
Now it's really worth something, and it's quite cool. It shows all of like the mocap things and stuff like that. I've got 2 of these that I'm giving away. This one's my favorite, and I really didn't want to give it away, but I'm going to. It's the art of the Uncharted trilogy. It's in a leather-bound book, and it's just all of the art from all 3 games that have come out so far. So that's awesome. Recruit dev diaries are this thick, by the way, for reference. The art book is this thick. And then the grand prize that I'm going to give away to a donator once I get a certain amount of donations is the collector's edition of Uncharted 3 that they also sent me, which comes with the exclusive collector's edition steelbook, wearable replica of Nathan Drake's belt buckle, and ring with necklace strap. It comes with the Nathan Drake statue by Sideshow Collectibles, which is one of the most high quality statues that I've ever seen. And my favorite thing is it comes with a traveling chest packaging. So, that's everything that it comes with right there. Oh, and I think the game comes with it too.
No one cares about that.
I'm pretty sure the game comes with it too.
So Ben, can we do this like Hunger Games style where people can donate to me to like sabotage you while you're playing? Like plug it into the controller, unplug the TV.
Oh,
turn over the power cable.
that would actually be kind of neat. Like every once in a while, throw in like some kind of weird thing that you have to do. Like, okay, the next 5 enemies you have to kill without a gun.
Oh, I like this.
I think we could arrange something like that. So you guys in the chat, leave comments on the website when the episode goes live, or just mention in the chat some things that you would like to see on these streams, because I'm going to make it happen. And I want to give you guys free shit in exchange for donating to Extra Life, because for the kids.
So now we're done talking about Extra Life. Let's talk about Extra Life.
Yeah. Speaking of Extra Life, my topic for tonight is Extra Life. And I am just so freaking excited. It is 6 days away. No, 5 days away. I can count. It is 5 freaking days away. And Sam is coming out here tomorrow. And we are going... we're going to be hosting a live event in the Bay Area, in Alameda, California. So if you're in the Bay Area, check it out. It's a place called D20 Games. We're going to be hosting all sorts of board games. We're going to play things like Settlers of Catan. We're going to have just a whole lot of a whole lot of fun in general. Um, and I can't wait. And there's going to be trivia. And the best part about it is we're going to be streaming the entire event on this page, and there are going to be chances for people in the chat to win some cool prizes as well. Um, and if you don't know what Extra Life is, it is a 24-hour gaming marathon um, in order to raise money for children in Children's Miracle Network hospitals. The specific hospital I'm raising money for is the UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital in Oakland. And essentially, what Children's Miracle Network does is they treat kids with a huge variety of different ailments, from cancer to just accidents or even just, premature births. And they treat these kids regardless of their family's ability to pay. So all of the money that we're raising goes directly to the hospital of our choice. Mine again is the UCSF Benioff Hospital, and it's really awesome. You can find out more information by visiting nkrn.org/extra life, or using the extra life command in the Twitch chat. There's going to be a whole lot of cool stuff. We are doing a Super Smash Brothers tournament where you can win a classic, or I'm sorry, a modern color 8-bit Mario amiibo, which
Woo!
is awesome. We're gonna have, yeah, hard to get in the U.S. This is the Japanese version, and we'll have a Mario Kart tournament where we're giving away the classic color 8-bit amiibo. So there's going to be a shit ton of fun stuff to do, and my favorite thing that I am looking most forward to is
trivia.
Trivia. God, I cannot wait for trivia. I've been writing questions and categories for everything for trivia. And there are going to be really cool prizes. There's going to be 5 rounds, 10 questions each. Each round has a certain category. I'm going to be giving away stupid little things like this to the winning team. And we've got some Lego Star Wars
I
stuff.
think you just called Luigi stupid. I don't know if you appreciate
Baby Luigi.
Look at
Yeah.
that. Look
God,
at that.
doesn't even have a mustache yet.
Don't make Yoshi like poop you out of his
That's true.
snow hole.
And the grand prize for trivia is this mystery box of Nerd Block stuff. I'm not going to tell you what's in it, other than there's a bunch of stuff from Nerd Block, including exclusive Nerd Block things from Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, stuff like that. That's as much as I'm saying. And just to throw in some extra stuff, I put in some digital codes for movies, for a few movies. So there are digital codes for Jurassic World, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, essentially all of the most recent.
Coincidentally, Ben has a Blu-ray collection of just those movies.
No, just those movies, no other movies. So there's a lot of stuff like that, and then of course someone is also going to win a 1-month subscription to Loot Crate. So Nerd Block and Loot Crate, all in one. It's going to be great. So I am really, really looking forward to it, and I hope you guys in the chat are too. So,
Brent, are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am. I've actually just recently got an exciting email from Loot Crate because I put down money for the exclusive Fallout Loot Crate. You know, the one that's like $130 or something.
Jeez.
So that'll be fun. Hopefully, when I get that.
Yeah. I'm jealous. Are you streaming at all during Extra Life, Brent?
No, unfortunately, I'm not. It's something I've always really wanted to do, and once I get a bit more free time, which I've said almost every year, which I feel really shitty about, I'd love to be able to do it. But I'd love to actually kind of, do it with you guys. Do a kind of. Yeah,
We could have like a
48
48-hour stream.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would kill me. To be fair, it would like start 15 hours in the future from you guys? Because it's
Exactly.
already tomorrow for me.
Yeah, I'm sure people in the chat like Kool-Aid Man and Micro and D Clay and Obama don't care. Would love a 48-hour stream, but I'm already stressing out about the 24-hour stream next week. But I'm so excited. Sam, are you excited?
You know what? I realized afterwards, I was like, man, I'm like gonna get no sleep.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna come in and have to work the next day. Like, I don't have. I think we're gonna get home. We're gonna pass out, and then you're gonna have to take me to the airport. Like, that's Sunday.
Oh, you leave on Sunday? I thought you left on Monday for some reason.
Some of us have jobs, Ben. I'm just kidding.
Some of us have jobs. Yeah. Okay, Sam.
No, I do leave on Sunday evening, but yeah, it should be fun. No, I'm excited. I think I haven't been since I moved out to Vegas. I haven't had the time to go hang out with like gamers just in general. Like I used to play a lot of Magic. I used to have like friends who did board games, and since I moved out here, like I don't have friends. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's been like Destiny nonstop. So it'll be a nice break to be able to play some like physical board games, chat with my people, chat with the people.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. It's actually really cool. Apparently, Micro is a medical student, and he's kind of into helping sick kids. So this is right up his alley. This kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Are there any things in the live event that I'm missing?
Oh, milestone challenges.
Oh yes,
Ben and I might be singing
milestone challenges. We've
a
got
hot
some
pepper contest.
we've got some really exciting things planned for that. I think what is it, $1,000, and we do a hot pepper challenge.
Where are you even gonna get
stream.
the hot peppers, man?
Which, guys, just so you know, we're $460 away from the hot pepper challenge, because we've raised 540 so far, and it's going to be really really fun and exciting to do a hot pepper challenge. And then, of course, once we raise $2,500, Sam and I are gonna sing a beautiful duet, also on stream, which is gonna be great.
Of a yet to be chosen song?
What was that?
Of a yet to be chosen song? Have you guys decided in advance? Like, is it going to be?
We have chosen a song. Do we want to announce it on stream, or do we just want to?
So here's the thing: like, I am open to better song suggestions than the one we've chosen. Not to say the song we've chosen is bad, but you know, part of our goal was to do a duet, and this song is structurally not a duet. So, yeah,
we could make it work.
Oh yeah, we'll make it work.
If the chat has suggestions for songs, please let us know what song you would like to see Sam Chen and Ben Riddick sing at Extra Life.
Maybe we can sing like a video game parody song.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sure.
There's that song about the like, what would you do with a large clay pot or something like that?
Okay.
I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But you know what? I do know some Danny Wiesner originals that might be good. And I do like Danny Wiesner, and he does some video game parody songs, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind us butchering them. So, you know, we might just do that. And then, you know, there's going to be streaming video games online as well. So that's going to be cool. Oh, I forgot my other favorite part. I am going to make it to where the stream can play Cards Against Humanity with the Nerdy Knights. So essentially, we're going to play Cards Against Humanity, and I'm going to give the stream a hand, and the stream will vote on which card they want to play, and it's going to be fun. It is going to be fun.
Yeah.
It looks like Micro wants us to sing "Don't Go Breaking My Heart." Just so you know.
A classic.
I don't really even know what part would be more advantageous to sing out of that song.
The whole song. We're just gonna sing the whole song, beginning to end. No, but I'm really excited. And Brent, I hope you can watch some.
I hope I get some time off because me being obviously in Western Australia, being a bit further in front of you guys.
New Zealand.
No, I'm from Australia. I can't be that much further from New Zealand. The only way I could be further from New
Ben,
Zealand
we
is
should
if I lived
eat a
in South
bloomin' onion on
America.
stream.
We should. Yeah, we'll make sure to eat a bloomin' onion while Brent is watching, and just say this is from Brent because he knows how to make a bloomin' onion because he's from New Zealand.
Slice it with my lightsaber.
There we go. Brent, I hope we don't offend you too much on the show. He's never going to want to come back, Sam.
So good. Australians usually take it. That's kind of a thing in Australia. You're not really friends until you can.
Oh, and we'll
jab each other.
Wait, we can make Ben eat Vegemite.
I
yes.
Vegemite. So.
Damn it. So do I.
Yeah. Do you guys ever see that video of I don't know, I think it was Jimmy Fallon or something, but Hugh Jackman ended up coming back because he tried it the first time and thought it was terrible, like a lot of people do, to be fair. But then he came back and went, no, you've got to put heaps of butter on it, and then just a little bit of Vegemite, and then you eat it and enjoy.
That seems reasonable.
Well, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for Extra Life. I think I want to hear about Brent's topic. Brent, what topic are you bringing to the round table today?
I am bringing to the round table controllers. They're one of the most, well, they're actually the conduit into which everybody plays their games. What are the best controllers? I just want to talk about what everybody is their personal favorite controller, what everybody kind of thinks is the best controller. What's the worst controller, which I think will be an interesting topic.
So do you want to start with the best or the worst?
I want to talk about the worst because up until recently, so I've just to fill everybody in, I've got a PlayStation 4. I've also got a Wii U, which I don't play as much as I kind of think I want to. Had a PS3, had a Wii before that. I have not really owned any Xbox things, but up until really recently, when I got my PS4, I thought the PS3 controller was fine. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was better than the Xbox 360 controller. But when I got my PS4, I played my PS4 for 3 months, and then I was like, oh, let me visit this game that I had on my PS3 again. And I picked up my PS3 controller, and man, all these other guys are right. The PS3 controller is just a heap of shit. It just feels so light.
Exact same experience. I was just like, wait a sec. They're structurally they look the same. What the hell? Why is it so much better?
Yeah.
It's just the PS4, the arms tilt out more, so it fits in your palms nicer. It's a heavier controller. But let's talk about the worst controllers. For me, it's the Wii U Fisher-Price LeapPad controller.
You don't like the gamepad?
No. I like the idea of the gamepad. I think it's a neat idea, but there's so much that I dislike about it. It's it's not even the size of it. It's that. So one of the things that really bothers me is the fact that the sticks are above the input buttons, or above
I do dislike that.
Because usually, if you need to accept something, it's X. In most traditional games, or in some games, it'll be for Nintendo games, it'll be A or something. But it just seems like so much more of a further distance, which doesn't make that much of a difference. But it just seems to mess with me a bit when I've been playing games on it.
I will agree with you there because I think I'm one of the weirdest people I know as far as how to hold a controller, because I can't hold the Wii U controller the same way I hold other controllers, which is like this.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my God, you're weird.
I have my thumbs on the thumbsticks. I have my index fingers on the D-pad and the buttons, and then I have my middle finger ready for the triggers. So that's how I play games pretty much all the time. So the fact that I can't do that with because it would essentially be this,
just one of the sabotages for your Uncharted run is going to be like holding a controller like a normal person.
Yeah.
Like a normal person? Come on. I can be so much more efficient by holding the controller like this. I don't have to move my index finger from button to trigger, or I can press both a button and the trigger at the same time.
That explains why you're so bad at games.
Yeah, okay.
You just do what some people do. Like in some first-person shooters, some people will just switch it so that instead of X being jump, it'll be was it one of the bumpers is your jump button, so you don't have to take your stick. You don't have to take your thumb off the stick to jump. Like that's where I can see the way you're holding the controller to be beneficial.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about some of these other controllers that have come out, but I want to address the worst controller thing first. Because while I do understand your reasoning for the Wii U gamepad, I don't think it's the worst. It is.
I'm sure there are worse controllers.
Nowhere near the worst controller for me. I mean, I like. So for me, I would have to say my least favorite controller was. I mean, I would either say the Nintendo 64 controller or the Dreamcast controller. I hated that controller. Both of them. They were just god-awful controllers. They didn't fit in my hand right. And I did not, for the life of me, enjoy playing on them. So that's my least favorite. Sam, what's yours?
I mean, I think I'm right there with you with the N64 controller. Not because I put a lot of hours in it. It wasn't as uncomfortable as kind of you described, but I think the biggest problem for me was I wanted access to the D-pad. And so there were some games I would play on the D-pad versus playing on that joystick. And the problem was you couldn't functionally have access to both of them at the same time. You either had to come all the way out or you had to go in to do it. And so in that sense, I really dislike that.
Yeah, that was annoying. Was it the Jaguar? I don't know. There was one that was like essentially a super wide one, and it had like 30 buttons across the screen. Was it the Jaguar?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I see the controller in my mind's eye, but I don't remember the console that it was on.
I like the Nintendo 60. I mean, to be fair, I think I'm not that much younger than you guys, but Nintendo 64 was my first major console when I was a kid. That was the first one that my family had owned. I'd played on the Nintendo 64. I mean, not 64, on the NES and the Super Nintendo. I'd played on the Saturn, and I hired out the Dreamcast. Me and my friends used to hire out the Dreamcast. But yeah, those controllers, I think I just have too many fond memories of playing on Nintendo 64 to think that badly of it. But going back and trying to hold it, I'm just like, man, how did I play games with this? What is this Rubik's Cube trident thing?
A couple things. The Atari Jaguar is the controller that was giant and had 32 buttons. Also, the N64 controller was built for someone with 3 hands.
Yeah.
That was my issue.
One coming out of your chest.
Controller. It's just like,
You play with your pet alien. And
exactly.
He controls he grabs onto it with his mouth within a mouth. He grabs onto the joystick and does that for you.
You know, that makes sense. I never got my pet xenomorph, so I can't
that's
say.
Why. Yeah.
And also, I just want to take a second. You guys in chat are being mean.
Why?
Micro, I can't help but think if someone walked into a room and Ben was playing a game, they would think he was having a seizure.
I think so. It's okay. I'm gonna take Ben's wallet and put it in his mouth just in case, so he doesn't bite down on the tongue. I will say the chat does make a good point. So there are some votes about the Kinect being the worst controller, which makes you the worst controller. I don't know if I agree with that. I think the Kinect was widely misused or underutilized. I think like it falls into the realm almost of the PlayStation Move controller.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys used it or got it or whatever, but I just remember it being, in my mind, it was one of the coolest implementations of a controller. There just was nothing that followed up.
And it worked beautifully.
It did.
Like it worked better than the Wiimotes.
Yes.
But the problem was that they already made the Wiimotes.
Yeah.
So people just immediately were like, "Oh, Sony's, just copying Nintendo," and it's it's a shame, and I feel like that's what Microsoft was trying to do with the Kinect as well, just taking that away. But people didn't want to use it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I kind of don't know if you remember right around when the Move came out, and like there were people who were playing, and this was when like 3D was still like a thing.
mhm.
People were playing Killzone with a full gun with the Move
The
attached.
sharpshooter, that's right.
Yeah, and 3D glasses. I was like, that's
Mm.
so cool. I never got to ever play that, but I thought that was cool. And then there was apparently there were supposed to be games where like you would play with a regular controller, but you could pull your sidearm out, which was the Move controller attached to a gun, and shoot things.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
neat.
And I think that probably never really took off, but I'm like, that would be so cool. That would be really cool. Like I would get one just to do that.
Mike in the chat makes a good point. The Move support for Heavy Rain, which is what I played with the Move with. Um,
Really? Tell
Yeah.
me more.
no, I thought Heavy Rain implemented it incredibly well. Like those kinds of games worked really well with it. And, I have a feeling we're going to see the Move come back with the Morpheus, which
Not Morpheus, PlayStation VR. They changed it, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, like that. Isn't it officially just called PlayStation VR?
Oh,
whatever.
bet. I think I would buy E3 bet now.
Um, I hope at PSX they have PlayStation VR there. I want to get my hands on it. So that I so badly.
I mean, it was at PAX Oz, and every single session that was available for the public was just booked out because everybody had gotten there on the Friday and just booked their time, and it was they had like a plexiglass wall that you could watch people through, and you could see the screen, you could see them just walking around, and it was super bizarre because you'd see some people leaning way too far over and almost just falling right on their face.
So what you're saying is the first thing I need to do when I get to PSX is find PlayStation VR and sign up for a time to see it.
Yeah, I would recommend it because if it's anything like PAX Oz, they'll book out pretty quick.
All right. So,
because that way then you don't have to worry about everything else. You can go around and check everything else out on the floor and then make your way back when you've booked when your appointed time is.
Okay, let's talk. I just want to talk about another thing with controllers. There are a lot of like custom controllers you can buy. Xbox or Microsoft did an incredibly smart thing and came out with the Xbox One Elite controller. I personally love the idea of the Xbox Elite controller because it's essentially the SCUF controllers just made by the first party.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome. And I love SCUF controllers, especially playing first-person shooters, being able to tie button combos to the pads on the back and just essentially have a better, sturdier controller in my hand, especially considering how crap the PlayStation 4 controllers are. I mean, the PlayStation controllers themselves, layout-wise, is great, but they are not durable.
No, I don't know how fast it happened on mine, but the thumbstick things were just wearing out on like the inside corner and the bottom left corner.
Thumbstick sticks, and I'll be playing Destiny, and all of a sudden start spinning around in circles, or my trigger sticks, and I'll stop pulling the trigger, but my gun doesn't stop firing, which is horrible when you're using Touch of Malice and your health is going down.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So it's about time for me to get a new controller. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on those kinds of controllers, the customizable ones, Brent.
I think they're super cool. I think it's a really neat idea to give people a bit more of identity. Like I always like that kind of thing, that customization for your console or for your controller. I like ones that it helps you identify it, because let's face it, if you're just at your house and you invite 4 friends over and you've got 4 controllers that are all, black, the exact same thing, sometimes it can be a bit hard trying to figure out whose is whose. For like, if your friend brings over a couple of controllers, it's always been that kind of thing. So yeah, I liked it when it was the Nintendo 64, when they had all those ridiculous types of colors, which was a first party thing. I do really like how this is a kind of a patent thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a more expensive option, but from all the things that I can hear and see, is that it's a really high quality version. Like I'd like for PlayStation to do that.
It basically turns out to be cheaper than the Scuff with all the features.
Yeah,
and the build quality is great.
Exactly. Mm. And again, it's made by the first party, which I do really like. Mike in the chat says, I disagree. I think Microsoft wasted their money R&Ding that controller when they should have just licensed out to Mad Catz or any other companies that make Elite-S controllers. I have to agree with Recruit. Back in the day, Mad Catz sucked. I thought
I think they still suck.
For some things, yeah.
And
I've never had a good third-party controller.
But
ever.
I mean, if they're better with the more expensive controllers, great. But what I like about the Xbox One is being first party. They're, like Sam said, it's cheaper.
And it also legitimizes it a bit. It doesn't make people as afraid to buy them as if it were like a completely third party thing. Like people aren't as afraid of it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I mean, Mike suggests that there's kind of low demand, or they stock low, so they're gonna sell out and the blah blah blah. But
so what Mike means is what Nintendo does every time they do anything.
Those stupid adapters. But no, I mean, the thing is, it should. Like, if Microsoft is smart, they're not gonna flood the market. Who cares if they increase demand now? I don't think we're going to get $50 versions of the Elite controller because they sat on shelves for a year. I think Microsoft's just going to make less.
Yeah, what Mike says is actually drops $50 because I think the controllers themselves are $150.
Yeah.
I
mean, they very well might. I mean, I think it's hard to look at Microsoft's overall strategy now. I think it could be the sort of thing where they're like, you know what? It probably doesn't cost us that much to make if we drop $50, and it means the PS4, Xbox One owner buys Call of Duty on the Xbox versus the PS4 because they have a first-party Elite controller.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a reasonable business decision for them to make. But I still applaud them for doing it.
So we are running late on the topic. I want to just talk about one more thing. And Sam, I want to exactly that. I want to talk about what you use to play video games and still manage to somehow suck at. So Sam uses what's known as a ZIM4, which is essentially this peripheral that you attach to your console that allows you to use mouse and keyboard on consoles. Which is great when you're playing first-person shooters or any kind of first-person game. But a lot of people, on consoles don't seem to like when people use keyboard and mouse. So, Sam, tell us about the ZIM4.
It's exactly kind of how you described. It's a device that interfaces between basically a keyboard, mouse. It actually, the ZIM4 at least for PlayStation, you could actually hook up one of your PS3 Move controllers to it if you wanted to. Not the actual Move controller, but the one that has just the stick and
the directional stick.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. Theoretically, you can interface your Xbox controller with the PS4 as well if you so choose to. But yes, a lot of people use it for keyboard and mouse. And I think having kind of gone back and forth, because I was like, is it cheating? Is it not cheating? I think for a lot of people, at least for gamers who maybe have picked up the Scuff, maybe have one that they use, they kind of make the same point, is that it is something that no one's stopping you from buying. And it does provide some sort of game enhancement the same way as Scuff does. Just because it's in a different format doesn't mean it doesn't advantage the player. For me, I actually pretty much only use it for Destiny. The thing is, it's not plug and play the way you'd want it to be. You have to configure things. You have to configure things like acceleration, how quickly you turn. You have to create profiles for how your character interacts when you're running versus not running. When Arkham Knight came out, I played the entire thing on a controller. I did not program my Zim forward to do it. So I have a lot of enjoyment with it. I feel like it makes PvP more fun for me. And for a player like me, I don't get so much advantage that I just kick everyone's ass. And I think
I was going to just tell everyone, for Sam, it's not cheating. Trust me. I've been there.
I mean, but to be honest, when I first got it, it actually made the game more enjoyable for me. And I think it still continues to do so because it gives me like some level of competitive edge in an environment that I have almost none. So it's fun. And I think for other games coming forward, there may be a practical application for it as well. I mean, at the end of the day, your mouse doesn't wear out because you move it left and right enough that many times. The switches on the keyboard probably won't break down anytime soon. So I think it's good. I think if you think that that's something you want to do.
How do you feel about those controllers, Brent?
I'm kind of half on it. On some way, I think it's like I think it's cool that it exists. I think it's a really cool idea. For me, as Sam was just explaining, having to configure everything before you start playing is one of the main reasons that I don't play a lot on PC anyway. Just because if something goes wrong, then I need to go in and troubleshoot and try and figure out, was it the controller, was it this, was it something in between? In some ways, I think it's a great idea. I really like it because, like, for example, there are some people who have played on PC their entire lives, but then they just want to play this one particular game or game franchise on a console with their friends, but they don't have that same kind of 3D space awareness that many gamers do. You know how, like, you and I all of us will just instinctively pick up a controller and, like, well, right stick moves your head and left stick moves your body, and you just move in concert, whereas someone who's not played on console a whole lot who's a lot more used to the keyboard and mouse will it's just ridiculous. Like, have you ever seen this kind of thing? One of my friends has been playing games as long as I have. I went to play. I showed him Destiny. He's like, "Oh, this is a bit of fun. I'll have a go at this." And no, sorry, it wasn't Destiny. It was Portal. Apologies for that. And he would move the character forward, and then without moving the head, without looking at the same time, he couldn't move both at the same time. But something like this would have really, I think, helped him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it does help some people. I mean, it helps Sam, so it's got to help other people too. We're going a little over time on this topic.
Yes.
It's a great topic, though, Brent. I'm really glad you brought it to the table. Our final topic is Paris Games Week. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm just going to let Sam talk about it because it's his topic.
Oh, okay. So for those of you who don't know, Paris Games Week happened last week, October 28th through November 1st. I think a lot of different things were announced. I think there were some people who, because, PlayStation wasn't active at Gamescom. PlayStation had a lot of announcements this week. Nintendo announced their first mobile app, which probably ended up disappointing everyone supremely, the way Nintendo's been doing the last couple of years. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and I kind of just want to get started with, what you guys thought was your favorite part, because, we just don't have the time to go through all of the announcements that were made. So Ben, I know you've been talking about playing a lot of Uncharted. Obviously, they announced something about Uncharted. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so they showed a trailer for Uncharted multiplayer, and they made it this really neat cinematic CG trailer that really wasn't any actual gameplay, but it showed some of the mechanics. And I did always enjoy Uncharted multiplayer, but it wasn't. I always would rather play a different game's multiplayer. And then Naughty Dog came out with The Last of Us, and I thought The Last of Us had and still has one of the best multiplayers that I have ever played.
I've never
Um,
felt so tense playing multiplayer as I've played Last of Us multiplayer.
yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
Literally hurt my jaw from clenching it so hard because there's like three guys coming around this converging on me. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to die.
Well, it's like the stress of playing the regular single player, they translate it into the multiplayer so
Mm.
well. And I think they they're doing some of not necessarily the same things as Last of Us, but they're taking the personality of the game
Mm.
into the multiplayer more again. And what they showed was a lot of like almost cooperative moves, like passing ammo from one person to another, or setting up environmental things so that another teammate could do something. There was a lot of cooperative stuff to it that I just absolutely loved the look
I
of.
mean, you can use the rope from the main game. I'm pretty sure every character has that rope, so they can swing up and pull themselves vertically up instead of it being as
So
horizontal
everyone
as
can
it's
be
been.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Uh,
I was at can
no,
I
no, no.
yeah. So I was at PAX Australia just recently, and one of the guys who was at Paris Games Week had been shown a bunch of footage from the Uncharted multiplayer and brought it to PAX Australia and showed us. And it was super cool. So they showed like some of those, uh, like they called them sidekicks. So like I think there was a medic and a sharpshooter. You essentially just drop them down and they would assist you and be alive for however long they were alive. Um, they had these new kind of grenade kind of things, not grenades. One of them was I think like they're bringing stuff in from like Uncharted One. It was El
The
Diablo.
El
No, the
Dorado.
El
That
Dorado, the Curse of El Dorado, and it would like flush people out of this area and damage them so
it
you could shoot them.
essentially, like if you play Destiny,
Yeah.
using that looks like using the Night Stalker Shadow Shot.
Yes.
Because
It like
all of a
links.
sudden you throw out this thing and it becomes the El Dorado and it just shoots out mist and like incapacitates everyone. And
Yeah.
it's it's really neat that they're bringing some of the more mystical
Yeah.
things in Uncharted into the actual
I,
multiplayer, which
I think they're called mysticals actually. Now that I think about it.
yes, they
Um,
when I was looking at it, I believe that's what they called them as well.
they had what was it, the Tintamani stone, the blue stone from
From
Uncharted
two.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that like if you could activate it and it would like kind of float above your head and have this surrounding area of healing essentially. So if a whole bunch of your friends had went down and you were coming back, you would ignite this, jump down, they would revive. If you got killed, you it does what how Ben was talking like in Last of Us. If you went down, you weren't dead. You went into a down state,
Yeah.
and your partners could revive you, which is
Well,
what the
and it
Chintamani stone does. Yeah.
and it looked also like that there are different classes
Mm.
as well. Like there looked to be like a tank like character, a medic like character, and just a crazy bitch that runs up and snaps people's necks.
No, those are the sidekicks. Those are the people you'll throw down.
Okay, so that I gotcha. So those are
So they're
just
like NPCs that help you out. So you'll get like a sharpshooter that you'll put down, and then you can just like flank people,
yeah,
or the medic will help you out.
that's really cool.
There was that crazy guy. I did see that where you essentially summon him essentially, and he just runs off and attacks the first person. Like they essentially put him in a body hold, and you can just shoot him or
Yep.
stab him, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Sam. Did you ever play the Uncharted multiplayer?
Nope. I actually really don't want to admit this in front of you, but I have not played any of Uncharted.
Oh my
What? They're so much fun. I liked when the Uncharted 3 multiplayer was happening. They did that the subway thing, I think, and they had like this week of
yeah.
free beta. I remember that, and
Yep.
that was one of the taunts that they'd had in there. It was a $5 footlong, and it
Yep.
was kind of messed up because the guy. That's what I like. I like the taunts. I think they're funny. I think I heard one of the guys they want to kind of put in the taunts in Uncharted for how that thing with Drake, the hotline bling, where he's just
Oh yeah, yeah.
slapping the ground, putting that in there, which would just be interesting, I guess.
It looks really neat, and I will definitely be playing some of it. Got to get that platinum trophy, yo.
Yes.
Got to get that platinum trophy. Sam, I mean, what are you, or no, Brent, what are you most looking forward to? Like, what did you see from Paris Games Week that looks most exciting?
For me, it was kind of the Uncharted multiplayer.
Gotcha.
I didn't get to see as much online as I wanted to. I haven't had a whole lot of time. I did
Uh,
see they had announced, the new thing for from Quantic Dream, who I'm kind of always been a bit so on, but am really interested in. I saw that trailer and that looked really cool. Whoever they've got to do this mocap for Kara, or this Kara model, looks a hell of a lot like Jennifer Lawrence right now, as opposed to the original video. What else was
I
there?
don't think anyone's going to complain about Jennifer.
Yeah. What else was there? Did they show? What else did they show? Because I'm having a bit of trouble remembering.
So I think that the big thing that they tried to make a splash with it was PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
So how much interaction that they're going to have? I think like No Man's Sky got some more FaceTime. Horizon got some more FaceTime.
Horizon,
There was also the release date for No Man's Sky for June next year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. We saw some more like Dreams play, right?
Which that game looks great. I was really happy to actually see where they're going with the game more, if that makes sense. Like I feel like we've heard a lot of concept stuff and kind of just more the creation stuff than the game stuff, and I'm glad to see the content.
Yeah. Sorry, go.
No, you're going to talk about Dreams, so talk.
No, I wasn't going to talk about Dreams. I was going to talk about the new one from Gorilla. Because when they announced that, I was excited because I liked the Killzone games, and I saw that announced. I'm like, good, these guys have been able to spread their
Horizon Zero Dawn.
wings. It looks super cool.
Yeah, that game looks awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is though, like, I am still not sold on VR. Like, I checked out Morpheus when it was Morpheus last year at PlayStation Experience. Hopefully they have more with it now. I don't know. I don't think the quality is going to be there. I don't think developers are going to understand how to integrate the gameplay to a point where, like, what is this more than just me wearing an extra, like, head thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never thought that VR was ever going to be super important and great in video games. I always thought it was going to be, it was going to come in with a bunch of games and then be used for a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, have you guys ever seen these 360 videos where you can essentially look it up on certain YouTube channels or certain things where you can watch a video on your phone and you move your screen in real space and it alters it in there. So they've essentially got this huge set of cameras in a 360 display. Like something like that, I think could be super useful for VR.
I honestly think you guys are going to be surprised with VR because.
What do you think they're going to do with it, though? What do you think they're going to do with it?
Well, I mean, gameplay is going to change in general. It might not be this specific thing. It might not be PlayStation VR that is the great thing, but it's going to be something that makes people think, okay, what can we do with this? I mean, VR is already so big in the PC space. They're going to find some great ways to develop with it. And places, people like Quantic Dream or the developer of Until Dawn. It's escaping me right now. It doesn't matter that much. I think we're going to see new kinds of games or more games that are like Heavy Rain and Until Dawn and the developer Supermassive.
Yes.
So there we go. So I think there's going to be a lot with VR that people might not be expecting to happen.
I mean, I do want to see what they can do with it, what they can what they can do with this technology instead of it just trying to be. I've always disliked when they bring out this kind of technology and just kind of try to fit it in where it sometimes doesn't really fit. I will be excited when they show me when I can see something super beneficial, super innovative, like you were saying with a Heavy Rain kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to be said about immersive environments and being able to utilize VR to immerse you more into the game. But I mean, to me, that doesn't necessarily change gameplay. Like, I mean, to me, this changed Ben's like crazy grip from this to this. Like, you just won't use this one, and that's it.
So I'll be able to hold the controller like a normal person.
Nah, you still got one arm that's not normal. But no, I mean, I hope for good things. I absolutely hope for good things. But I'm almost at the point, and anyone who knows me and my history of technology, I'm an early adopter of a lot of things. Yeah. I don't think I'll be early adopting this technology.
I will be.
If they make a case that's like, hey, look, we've now upgraded the screen quality, so like I could just play Destiny on it and it'd be fine. Maybe I'd take a shot because essentially I'd paying a certain amount of money to have a heads-up display or a head-mounted display. Sorry, but other than that, yeah, they're gonna need to come out with something like great to do with it.
So, like the big thing that I see this benefiting is we're going to see, because of this, there's actually like a lot of competition now. It's not just Oculus. It's PlayStation VR and HoloLens as well. And each company is going to do their different thing of...
You did not just compare this to HoloLens.
Yes, I did.
HoloLens is like galaxies ahead.
And I think that HoloLens is going to be awesome too, but it's different. It's not the same.
It's in a different galaxy. It's not galaxies ahead in the same galaxy.
No, that's what I mean. Like, from an experiential standpoint, I think...
Let's close out this topic with Recruit's question. Recruit in the chat asks, do you think it would be better to make normal games with VR stuff or make games specifically for VR? Let's start with Brent. Brent, what do you think?
I think it would be better to make games specifically for VR. I think there are some games that already exist that you could kind of co-opt it into, like racing games. I think would be great because there are some people who have those huge setups with the chair and the wheel and the foot pedals. Like having something like that, I think
the wraparound TVs.
Yeah. Having VR with that, I think, would be good. But mostly I just think that making games specifically for VR to take advantage of what it can do as opposed to a regular controller, a regular setup would be better.
How about you, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in the same boat. Realistically, the style of gameplay, the differences that it's going to have, you need kind of like to be able to immerse the VR element as part of the control of the game. I mean, I can see some instances where it'd be interesting, but I think it functionally has to change the game. So, like, for me, I could see it being cool if you were playing Madden in a first-person sense, right? So you're dropping back as the quarterback, and you look left to right to figure out which guy to pass to. The problem is the Madden franchise will never just replace their gameplay with that. So it's going to be like a completely separate version to make that work. And I don't know, like, is it enough for me to... And maybe at the end of the day, what makes it successful is like Call of Duty. Like, at the end of the day, maybe it's just, hey, I want to play an FPS and I'm going to use this thing and maybe be able to hold a gun. I think it alone is not enough. And especially it holding a controller, I ultimately don't think it's going to be enough. So it's gotta be fully immersive into just a VR game.
All right. Well, since we're kind of foregoing BS jousting this week, I'll put that as a poll.
We should have just made this the topic.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll put that in as the poll for the episode this week. For those of you who didn't make it last week, Sam and I debated on if comic books were better for movies or TV, and we still need some more votes going on. So definitely head over to the NKRN page. It's nkrn.org/nerdy-nights-radio. And there's a clip of the BS Jousting episode. And let us know what you think in the poll and in the comments. I really really want to be able to share next week what people thought. And BS Jousting will be back next week. Actually, at Extra Life, it'll be back. And guys, I think that's a good place to stop. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can find us all over the internet. Starting with Brent, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at BrentCT.
BrentCT.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And of course, you can always find Sam on Twitter at DJ Fluffkins. You can pretty much find him everywhere, DJ Fluffkins, including
Your account suspended.
What?
I just went to Brent CT, and it said account suspended.
God damn it.
Way to go.
Hold on.
What were you doing? You know,
I don't know. I probably offended. Maybe I offended someone too much. Oh, sorry. It's Brent C. Turner.
I was going to say.
Okay, there
it's
you
at
go.
Brent C. Turner. Sorry, I changed it. Yeah, it used to be a different one.
Oy.
Brent C. Turner, guys.
Okay. Okay. And you can follow Sam on Twitter at DJ Fluffkins. That's DJ Fluffkins. And pretty much everywhere at DJ Fluffkins, including djfluffkins.com. And you can follow everything Nerdy Nights related at nerdy_nights on Twitter and on our website, www.nkrn.org. Remember, Nerdy Nights Radio is live on Twitch every Monday at 7:30 Pacific time, and you can be a part of the show by participating in the chat like Recruit and Micro and Agent Hardwire and a bunch of other people did tonight, which was awesome. And then you can find the show in split topic by topic on our YouTube at NKR Productions. And of course, you can find the full episode on iTunes. Thanks again, everyone. It has been an excellent night, and I officially dubbed the Nerdy Nights of the round. Go out and defend the realm of the Nerdy Nights, and until next week, remember, it's dangerous to go alone.
Woo!
All right.